Well, we're going to have an absolute feast for you in the next half an hour. You can see him on the screen there. This man, I want to say it's a pleasure to be joined in the studio by the animal right now. Have a listen to this.
Oh, what a shot from Aloys Junior. The paramedics coming in just to make sure everything's okay. That was a tremendous shot from Aloys Junior. And he's got some real power. The Animal Junior!
So, Aloys, the Animal Junior from Penge. How are you?
I'm great. It's an absolute pleasure to be here again, and I'm here to break that record. Honestly,
right. Hang on. Let's talk about this then. So you were the excoriatingly brilliant number one at 9 on the Brazilianator on the punch bag. 9.
I don't know. I don't remember.
982 or something, or 68 or
something
78.
like that.
But Pat Brown, who's just about to make his debut as a heavyweight.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Signed by Eddie Hearn, came in here and beat your record. When did you hear about this?
I heard about this in somewhere in the mountains while I was training, like Rocky. And I found out someone broke the record, and I was shocked. And
Were you hurt?
I'm quite hurt, because I'm in my mind I'm always number one. So when someone tries to destroy that, I got to destroy that.
I saw you go from green room just now to the Brazilianator. I heard it getting smacked really hard. Spencer ran out then and said, you need to blow up the ball. Did you do it?
No, we didn't do it yet, but we're getting there. Don't worry.
That is the key, mate, because that's the theory, right? Where that ball's been punched so much, because everyone that comes in here punches the ball, they all want to break the record, and we get some heavy hitters in here as well, like yourself, and I've seen you, right? I'm watching through the window, and I can see that machine shaking, and I'm going to Gareth, this kid needs to blow up the ball, because if you pump the ball up, it will go up higher.
Well, listen, look. Once I get my man strength, right, then I can start punching.
Mate, you say that because you're only 21. Harjot, who's producing us tonight, just give me the numbers in my ear on the 982. So
it was 988 today.
It was 988 today.
Today, so I'm just one.
Pat Brown's 989, is he?
Exactly.
Okay, so you've gone up from 982 to 988 without the ball being blown up.
That's what I'm saying.
So that's what you're saying. So look, a very important aspect to you coming in here. You came in here before. Let's talk about your life now and your boxing career. You're still only 21.
Thankfully.
You are one of the biggest punchers anyone's ever seen in the Cruiserweight division. Boxing has changed your life. Last time out, you destroyed Lewis Oakford, winning by TKO. You're 9-1-0. But you lost your first bout on points, didn't you? It's kind of fascinating that. What happened?
What a fight, honestly.
It was an incredible fight. And I tell you what happened. It was an ambitious debut. That's what happened. He went in there and he normally get the run of the mill. You got a guy that's 110, lost 30 or whatever it is. Just an introduction into the game.
There's none of that.
You didn't have that?
No.
Ambitious.
Absolutely ambitious. Again, I've always loved the greatest men, like for me, the greatest men of all time, like the Alexanders, the Napoleons, the Genghis Khans, the guys with immense ambition, and I've always resonated with that energy. You feel
even though you're only 10 fights into your career with 8 knockouts from 9 wins, that you are destined to be a world champion.
Absolutely, like there's no doubt in my mind. Like when I wake up, I know that I'm gonna brush my teeth and I'm gonna be a world champion.
Do you watch people like Jai Opataya, who is the number one in your division right now? If you got the call, do you just go?
I'm on it.
Boots on 3 a.m.
But I'll tell you this. Now. I'm on it. I love to fight. Put me in there now. You can feel this energy. But I have a team for a reason. That's why I went in 24 hours notice against a prospect. Like as time goes on, you understand that it's not just about fighting. It's about like making the right fights at the right times. And we're getting there.
It's all about development, and with you, you know, you're one of those guys. Anyone that's not seen Aloys, trust me, go on YouTube, take a look at him. Right, very exciting. Reminds me a little bit of Mike Tyson. Comes out there, no playing around, no feeling out process. You go in there, and it's the hurt game, and you go in there to hurt them. That's what you do. But what you're getting now, and what I've noticed over your last few fights, and I was at the Oakford fight as well, and I see that you're starting now to take your time and wait for the opportunity instead of just going out there and throwing the big bombs and just hoping that you knock him out. You're now understanding the game. You go, this is a 12-round fight, and you're going to get these guys that can take the shots. Absolutely. Are going to take you to rounds, and you don't want to blow a gasket, and then all of a sudden, that's it. Yeah, that's it. And that's what I've noticed with you. I think you're improving all the time, and that's a big step forward.
So skills really important as well as the power. That's what Spencer's really saying. Learning those fundamentals and finessing them.
Absolutely. I love the term finessing them. But I can't take all the credit. I give the credit to my coaches. My coaches are like geniuses.
Tell us about them.
Ben
Tell
Davison,
us their names.
Lee Wiley, Barry Smith. These guys are exceptional at their job. I care about them a lot. I love these lot like family. They invest so much into me, and it's my duty to fulfill the I don't know what the words for it. To fulfill
the potential.
The potential. That I have.
So in that gym, the Ben Davison Performance Centre in Harlow, that's very renowned. You've got Anthony Joshua in there. You've got Fabio Wardley in there. You've got, I think you've got a young Moses Itauma in there. So do you go on a different day? Do you go and want to spar with these guys? Do you spar with these guys? Because you've obviously got something. You might be at heavyweight one day. I mean, you're a very young man. You're not the tallest, but you've got that build. You've got that powerful upper body. Do you spar with them? Is there? Talk us through what happens in that gym with all these guys you're rubbing shoulders with.
It varies. So, like, for instance, we may do some technical sparring, but Ben tries to keep it like a family-orientated gym. Like, he doesn't want the guys to be going to war because he knows how I get down. I go to war with everyone. I'm sorry.
So it's on or off. As simple as that.
So, like, I can't put into words.
Success breeds success, right? And you go in there and you're all like a family unit. I understand the whole gym thing. And you go like, I was when I was a young pro, and you're going in there and you got world champions like a kid called Alfred Cote, who was world bantamweight champion at the time. And I learned from him, but he guided me through, because you're at different levels, different stages. And that family unit creates champions, and that's what it is. It's all about timing, and they all feed off each other, you know?
Absolutely. We got people like Lee Wood, we got Shabazz, Masood, again, Anthony Joshua, and etc. Like, we have like fighters, established fighters, world champions in our gym.
But what I'm asking is, do you go and move around with those guys in the ring? Because I'm fascinated by that.
They learn from each other.
Yes, felt like that. We don't swing at each other.
No, that's what I want to know. How enjoyable is that, knowing that these guys have been at the absolute pinnacle of the sport already, and Moses is on the way up there by the look of it as well, and what you just feel when you're in there with them, how much you get from it.
Oh, I get so much from it. It's like, I see someone working, and I'm not going to let them outwork me. And we go at it, and we just grow from each other and learn from each other.
Do you know what it is, Aloys, as well? Do you find that it's like, it's power of the mind, because it's boxing is, which people don't understand, is psychological. The psychological part of the game is like 80%. The physical side is 20%, because we can all get ourselves in shape, whatever. But you're feeding off all these other fighters, and you've got the great champions in there and the young prospects like yourself coming up. You feed off them, you learn from them, but that gives you that mental strength where you go, it gives you that inner confidence that you need as a fighter, that self-belief. You go, well, Anthony Joshua's there. He's been a world champion, unified world champion. You go, Moses Itauma, everyone's talking about your wrap-round success.
Yeah, explain it. Explain that deeper sense of what you're experiencing, because I think that's what our listeners or our viewers would like to hear about. I'm not asking for gym stories. I'm not asking for revelation. I'm asking for what it feels like, as Spencer says, to be in a gym of champions, and what that bestows upon you, what cloak that gives.
What
you.
energy you get from that?
You get some super real energy. It's like, let's say Fabio Wardley knocks out Fraser Clark. The gym's electric. When someone wins, it's electric, and it keeps you at a standard where you gotta perform. You gotta keep this momentum going for the team. And I don't, man.
Do you have hard days there? Do you have hard days there as well?
Of course, everyone has hard days. This is work.
Yeah.
Sometimes sparring doesn't go your way. Sometimes when you're doing technical drills, you're not the sharpest, but that makes you the person, or that makes you the champion that you will be one day.
Aloys, you just said it there. It's the competitive edge that gives you the edge. Now, what I'm saying is because you're competing against all these guys, because you want to be the man, you want to be the number one, you want to be the one that they're all talking about, and because you're being competitive like that, that brings you on and moves you on fire. If you was the main kid in the gym, then you're not really like, if you got other people breathing down your neck, there's something to compete
You're
against.
really not the main guy in the gym. You are one of the juniors.
And I want to be the main one.
There you go. That's what we're talking about.
Fantastic stuff. We're going to come back to that in a minute. They're in the 10th round of 12 in Catterall. Barbosa Junior at the Co-op Live in Manchester. We will bring you that result when we speak to Aloys in the next section. You're listening to Fight Night on talkSPORT. You're listening to Fight Night on talkSPORT with me, Gareth Davis, and him, Spencer the Omen, Oliver, my wingman tonight. In the studio with us now is the animal, Aloys Junior. Aloys, Cruiserweight. You're looking at your 10th fight coming up, or is it 11th? 11th fight. You can tell us when it is. It's not fully out there, but you're going to be fighting on the undercard of Josh Taylor and Echo Esserman, one of the early DAZN Queensbury cards. You're promoted by Frank Warren, of course. Who are you fighting?
I'm fighting David Jameson. He's a tough, I would say contender. Tough contender. He's durable. He's been in the ring with guys like Mikel Lawal, Chevon Clark, and the man likes to fight. And everyone knows how I get down. I really like to fight, and if I catch him, he's night.
You and Chev Clark's going to be a bit of a banger, isn't it, when that happens?
Listen, stylistically, mate, it absolutely will. But going into Jameson's backyard, you like all that as well, don't
Absolutely. You? It's a new experience, and I know he is going to be ready. Like, this is like a make or break for him as well in terms of career-wise. So he's going to be training. I can vision him training incredibly hard, and I need to be on my A game because, listen, like life could be like Rocky sometimes. He could be in his last leg and he could try to pull an upset, and I'm not letting that happen.
Do you know what I like about it these days? The era that we're in now is the promoters are not protecting their fighters anymore. They're not protecting the young prospects and giving them, these fights. You actually have to sort of prove yourself now, going in against these tough guys, going into the other guy's backyard. Years ago, that wouldn't have happened with a prospect like yourself. So, testament to you, him, and the promoters.
Absolutely. I don't need no cushions. I don't need no stabilizers. If you can fight, you can fight. And Fight Night shows itself. Like, the ring, I see it like this. The ring is the moment of truth. And if you've been doing what you've been doing, like if you've been working hard and staying dedicated, then the moment of truth will be a great experience for you.
The Cruiserweight division, look at what Alexander Usyk's done, stepping up from being unified or undisputed champion there to heavyweight and being the number one. David Hay stepped up to heavyweight. Evander Holyfield. Do you, Jaya Pattaya, we expect him to step up. Do you look at the Cruiserweight division and the heavyweight division as two divisions that you will fight in both?
Absolutely. I there's no doubt in my mind with that. I'm only 21 years old, and as time goes on, I'm going to mature into it, and I'm going to get my man strength.
So, I've got to ask you this question. It's not for gym stories, but Moses Itauma's over there in that corner, in the same gym as you, in Harlow. In your mind, I'd be thinking like this: I'm going to fight you for the world heavyweight title one day. I will be fighting you for that title, and I will take it off you. Surely you must think like that.
I don't try to compete with my...
In the deep parts of your mind.
I don't try to compete with my brothers in training. I just see them as... I want them to be the best at them, and if we ever meet in the future, then that occurs. But me personally, I don't look at it like that.
Because you're not there yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think when the fighters are in the same stable like that, you know that look, there's a potential, there's a possibility, and that then comes down to business, and you put the friendship aside and you get in there and you earn each other a lot of money. But I think at this stage of your career, you're thinking about yourself, you focus, you're in a different weight division, and if that fight materialises, then so be it. But I get what you're saying now.
Do you have to wait, say, another 7 or 8 fights before you fight for a world title? When do you envisage that you will fight for a world title for the first time? Richard Riakpor's left the division. Lawrence Okoli's gone up to heavyweight. What? Go on.
I said, as a Karen speaking to me. Karen describing it.
Jaya Patayo, I think, will leave the cruiserweight division. There are opportunities to fill the gaps that will be left. How long are you prepared to wait?
That's a good question. I couldn't even give that to you right now. At this moment in time, I'm just building, and we don't know. That's the thing. We can't plan out life. Like, I could say next year. I could say 2 years. I could say 3 years. Listen, if the right fight happens and they give me someone like Badu Jack, oof, I might take it, because that man used to compete at, I think, middleweight, super middleweight.
Super middle.
That's what I'm saying.
Beat George Groves at super middle in Vegas. And was a very, very fine 12-stone fighter.
And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, listen, you used to compete at middleweight. Me, I'm a natural cruiserweight. You know, walk around at a heavyweight. So if I catch you with these shots, it's going to be rattling. For people who are listening tonight and don't know you, or are watching on our YouTube channel and don't know you, talk to us about the junior Aloys Junior. How did you find boxing? Did it change your life? Were you going down the wrong tracks? Is it something that guided you in the right direction? Yeah,
talk to us about your journey.
Yeah, absolutely. As a kid, like, I used to be out on the streets selling some drugs, jumping over people's gates, stealing bikes, doing all sorts of stuff.
Why? Why did you find yourself there? Was it cool at the time?
Absolutely. It was a thrill. It was exhilarating. I loved to fight, and me and my friends would literally fight.
Street guy.
Absolutely.
Adrenaline buzz.
Literally. Like, me and my friends will fight in the park just for the banter of it. Swinging hands at each other. But
this is in Penge, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But as time went on, I started to pursue boxing, and I started to love boxing, and I just started to dedicate my life to boxing, and I'm here now.
Are you transformed as a person when you look back on? Do you speak to others, younger people you know who are in that area? Do they follow you? Have you transformed other people through what you've done?
Absolutely. Like, I'm like a role model from where I'm from. 21 years old, winning 3 titles from last year. Like, that's something. Especially where I'm from, you don't really see that often. So, if I can help someone's life, and if I can be a blessing to someone, I'm grateful for that. If I can help one person, that's great.
So important, Spencer, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Boxing is a bigger thing than just a sport, isn't it?
Boxing gives fighters hope. That's one thing. Most kids come from sort of deprived areas or backgrounds like yourself, and it gives fighters hope. But more importantly, what you get from boxing is it teaches them the life skills.
Absolutely.
You know, the simple life skills that get you on in life, whether you achieve anything as a boxer or not. You know, it gives you that focus, that discipline, and that direction. That's what boxing teaches kids. So don't think that you've just got to be a champion to get those out of it. To get the life skills that you need, the discipline, getting up in the morning, you know, being somewhere on time, saying thank you, saying please, all of that stuff comes in the boxing gyms, and you know that better than anyone.
Absolutely. I trained in I think one of my earliest memories of like training is training in the Fitzroy Lodge with Mark Rygay and Grant. They gave me all sorts of lessons, life lessons. They're like father figures to me. Like, come home, make sure you come into the gym, make sure you clean like your area, make sure you're on time, make sure you're again never late, make sure you're never skipping training. That, like, not only that, they would like check up on you. They'll see, are you eating? Like, are you eating right? Is everything okay? Is your safety okay? And you gotta give your appreciation to these amateur coaches, because they do this for free. They
do, and there's thousands and thousands. You know, you grew up in it, Spencer. Thousands and thousands around the country. Let me reiterate this. There are things ongoing with MPs in the House of Commons right now where we are fighting for funding from central government for these kind of clubs that change thousands and thousands of lives year on year on year for nothing. Those people give up 50, 60 years of their lives, and they should be thanked for that.
Absolutely.
Deeply.
It's voluntary, you know, it's the grassroots, and it puts all these kids, and a lot of them don't even become boxers, but it teaches them the respect, and it gives them the discipline. They go and get themselves good jobs, and they get themselves off the streets, and that is the important thing. You walk into a boxing gym, Gareth, and you're 5 minutes late, guess what happens?
Oh my
You send you home, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
See you later.
Yeah.
And if you come again tomorrow and you're 5 minutes late, guess what happens? Go away, mate, but don't come back this time. Like, that is the strict thing that happens in boxing gyms. So when you get there, you know, like, you come back tomorrow, but you're 5 minutes early. And I think that is the importance of a life skill.
Tell us about peers, your friends. Have they changed their lives. I mean, you're still incredibly young, and you were doing this probably 15, 16, running around out there being a wild man. You're still a wild man. But look at his face. Anyone that's watching that punch bag's going to get some wild man when you leave the studio in a minute as well. Tell us how you've been able to influence your friends as well, because I'm sure they all come and watch you box. So are you a group that have started boxing together, or are you the only one? Have you all... I mean, there's going to be a group of you in your early 20s. Some may be fathers already, some may be mothers already, then if there's women. Tell us about your group.
So I would say, like, personally, I have, like, people around me. They do all sorts of things. Some people, bus drivers, some people still on the streets, all sorts of people. But all I can do is just, like, help them in, like, trying to put this in simple words, instill discipline into them. So give them some sort of structure, whether I help them from a nutritional perspective, like that's what I'll do, or try to get them to be fitter or better people.
It's been brilliant to have you in the studio tonight. We've got to say goodbye to you now. By the way, in Manchester, Arnold Barboza Jr. has won on points against Jack Catterall. They're very disappointed in the Catterall corner. We'll discuss it after the break. Aloys, I think it's the second time you've been in with me, certainly. It's always fantastic to have you in the studio. You have an amazing energy.
Thank you.
Oh, no, I think you've got that feel. Spencer and I have an eye for people like you. You just look destined to be a world champion to me, because your whole being is dedicated to this sport now, and you're on a journey, and we will want to be on this journey all the way with you.
Thank you.
And I'll tell you what it is, but you've got an aura around you. When someone's got an aura around you, and you don't know what that aura is, and you don't want to know what it is, it's champion.
I appreciate it.
Well, Aloys Junior, thank you very much for joining us.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.